Covering all things LEGO, from Minneapolis to Fiverton and LEGO cities beyond, it's breaking news.
What is up, LEGO fans, and welcome back to a thrilling, very exciting episode, special edition of Breaking News. Now, if you like LEGO, and you remember a time where you had to add tinfoil to the TV's antenna to get a better reception, well then, chances are you're going to enjoy today's podcast. We are on location with the Unicorn World Convention. We're very excited to be here and cover this for you guys, right, Jason?
Yep, Jimmy's been looking forward to Unicorn World all year.
That's right. We're finally here, buddy. What do you think?
He loves unicorns and the world.
That seemed kind of forced.
This is awkward.
This is awkward? Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
We're not really here for Unicorn World, are we,
But it's
Alex?
pretty cool. It is.
It just happens to
It
be in
happens
the
to be
same
here.
weekend, the same location.
Pretty cool.
As what? What's happening, Jimmy?
Yes, what is going on?
The Lego convention.
The
Yes.
LEGO Convention.
The LEGO Convention.
That's right.
That's right. The Brick Slopes
Brick
Lego
Slopes
Convention.
2024 is here.
Woo!
So we're going to go in, check it out. I think we'll find some builds, we'll find some LEGO.
There's
Probably
yeah.
no unicorns, but we'll see what we can do.
You might find some unicorns in there,
Maybe.
but you'll find most of them in here, and it's very. We try to get in. There's just no way you can see inside there. It's very blocked.
Yeah.
No way.
And it's like $32 to go in, so it's not
$32.
worth the joke. Sorry.
Whoa. Dang,
Yeah.
man. What's our cost? Our convention? Is it $12?
16.
16.
16 for
Woo.
a day pass for Brick Slopes. So
Wow.
you could get 2 people into Brick Slopes
That's
for one
right.
unicorn.
We're half the price, so come on
right.
down to Brick Slopes.
We're like we own it.
That's right. We're the admins. Yeah.
All
and
right.
it doesn't. Is this 2 halls or 1 hall? Maybe.
I don't know. I see. Ooh, I
Well-
see some stuff back there.
Irregardless.
Anyways.
Brick Slopes is 2 halls. Like a hall is like an area of the convention center.
Yep.
We do have 2, and it seems bigger. The area, the space of it all is massive. So we're
Yeah.
very excited to be part of it. It's chaos right now.
Yep.
Absolute chaos. You can't even find parking. There's all kinds of unicorn people and all kinds of Lego people out there, and they're just like all over the place. Like, get out of my way, unicorn person. Get out of my way, Brick Slopes guy. Yeah, it's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. We're over here. We look out of place here.
Yes, I think we need to go down. They're gonna riot. We don't have our wings.
We're getting
and
some
horns.
awkward looks here. We better get out of here. We're gonna get a,
Let's go down to the-
we're gonna get skewered by a unicorn horn.
All right, so let's go.
All right. Let's go back. Let's go back where we came from.
That's right.
Welcome to this interesting segment right here. Okay, we break from the action. What's going on? All right, so we've got some special guests here, awesome viewers of our podcast. We got Lizzie, and we've got
Liz.
oh, sorry, is it just you know Lizzie?
No, Liz.
Liz, sorry. And she corrected me hard. Thanks for that, Liz. No, I'll never forget. And we've got Duplo Tracy here as well.
So I saw your comment on that.
Yeah.
You're leaning into that,
You
it
are.
sounds like.
I changed my handle, so you don't have to call me with the number.
We
We're good
appreciate
to go.
that.
Well, I
am
think one
Duplo
time
Tracy.
someone had commented and their name was Tracy. I'm like, I think this is Duplo Tracy. And they're like, no, I don't know. I'm like,
I
okay.
know.
Yeah, but we're
Anyway.
thrilled to actually have you guys in one of these videos because we see you guys all the time.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
always commenting, so this is fantastic. And you guys have actually brought a lot of builds here for the
Yeah,
show, right?
yeah.
Including, but not limited to, the Duplo Yellow Castle,
Yes.
which is pretty darn sweet, which is behind us. That we've done some video of this
Yep.
thing already, which is awesome, and among other things too, which we'll take a look at a time. But of course, we have to swag you with our Swagatron.
Oh,
Right.
Swagatron.
Yeah, here we go.
Now, I do have questions for you as well I want to ask you about. So we've got some stickers.
Oh, thank you.
And these aren't Duplo, but they are tiles
They are
with
tiles.
the
Yes.
logo and then from my
I
channel.
do
She
collect
does
Lego also.
exclusively
And then
Duplo.
I do have
Oh,
some Duplo
thank
bricks
you.
from
is
Legoland
cool.
for you.
Yes.
Thank you. Those are
And I
amazing.
still have your. So you guys gave me a cone, and you guys gave it. Was it last year they gave us the
Yes,
challenge?
because I have a flower
Did
and
you
You
I,
have
do
the
it.
flower.
it's sitting on top of one of my roofs. I have it on. I couldn't figure out a way to make it
was-
work.
Yeah, he had.
So
it was
I
on
ended
a
up
hard
putting
time.
it on top of one of the chimneys,
Okay.
modulars,
That
and so I'm ashamed to say that's where we're at this point.
Because I had a cone. That was
Yeah,
a little easier.
I
to
think
work
you
with.
figured out a way to put
Yeah,
yours in.
because it was in the amusement park, and I remodeled it, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to bring it back in there, and I still have your sign.
Yes.
And that is also in the amusement park, and that's fun putting them back in there. So that was great. Your elephant I don't know if you gave me
You've
that last
used
year.
it, yes, I did.
That.
And you've used it in a few videos.
Yes.
We've seen it. It's the one on the shelf behind us when we film,
it's
right?
in the studio, so it's always in the studio. And I always like, there it is. Now I can say it's Duplo Tracy now, officially.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the elephant in the room.
Liz-
The elephant in the room.
Yes. Yeah, it was awesome. So
So now I want to ask you a question because there is, I've noticed a small segment of AFOLs that are into Duplo. You know, and I mean you're, I don't know, maybe president of the club, I would think, but
I might be at this
but like
point.
Jabo or Brickzar, he collects a lot of those,
Yeah.
and I find it very interesting because yes, it's Lego, but it's different in my mind. Like
They're all systems. They can connect with each other.
except for a flower in my city. But anyways, continue.
Very sorry to give you a hard piece.
No, it's fine.
But I love it because it takes a little more work, but you can make an impact very easily because it's bigger. I used it when I worked at Boys and Girls Club. I use it now in my work as a special ed teacher
Okay.
and when I was working at a daycare. So I used it with kids, and so that's kind of how I got into it. I used it with my own kids, and I just like what you can do. It's a challenge for me to make mocks out of it. What can I make with the basic Duplo brick?
yeah.
What can I do? And I like to recreate Lego sets like the Yellow Castle
Yeah.
and make them in a bigger form.
Well, last year,
But-
if I remember, you had a Starry Night build,
Last
right?
year
and,
I
that,
did Starry
and I
Night.
thought
I
that was like one of the more
In
creative
Duplo.
things because
Yeah.
it was like Duplo.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never would have thought of
No,
that.
I did
it-
like
as
the
possible.
best thing I could the first year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, no, this is impressive. I think the Yellow Castle is a neat touch. So.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
get a lot of smiles from AFOLs.
From
like.
the A-Falls.
Absolutely.
It's got the nostalgia factor.
The nostalgia.
For sure.
We're all about the
Nostalgic.
There you
nostalgia.
go. Got our
These are
nostalgic
nostalgia
noons
news.
moment.
Yeah, there you go, guys. If you like the Yellow Castle and you were alive when it came out, you might like this podcast. Right. Well, one more thing, as always, as you guys know.
Yes, the other question we need to know: where do you stand on the food segment?
Yes, food segment.
Food segment. When it's something that you like and you want to do it, I like it. I don't think you have to have it all the time.
Okay.
But if you find something cool, and I love when it's something that like you're challenging the other to try. I like
Go ahead,
the pickle pepper.
Oh, the
Drink.
pickled Dr. Pepper.
Ugh. Oh my
I
God.
That
haven't
was-
tried that yet, but I'm obsessed with Dr.
You know,
Pepper.
just leave it. It'll ruin DP for
Well,
you.
this is what I would say if you get it, drink it fast. Because the
Yes.
longer it goes, the
The
worse
worse
it gets.
That aftertaste.
Because that was the thing in the episode, we were like, this isn't too bad.
By the time
I was
like,
drinking
this
at the
is done.
Zeppin episode, and I
This
was
is
like,
done.
this is like pickle water. It was horrible.
It's
Yeah,
terrible.
I think if it has a purpose, it's good.
Purpose is
Okay.
good. So we have a good purpose today because we do have gummy bears.
The official 2024 Alex swag
This
for
is
Brick
it.
Slopes.
Here you are,
Oh, thank
Tracy
you.
and Liz. There you are. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for being fans of the channel and always just like reaching out to us. It's always good to see you guys here
Good to
every
see you
year.
too.
Enjoy the show, and we'll see you around.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys. So, Alex, we have found one of our viewers,
Yes.
Mike. Now, you're with the Den Lug?
I am. Denver
Yeah.
Lug out of Colorado.
I was guessing that was Denver.
That is.
Okay. And this is your first time at Brick Slopes?
Fourth time.
Fourth time. Okay.
But who's counting?
I had a feeling you were going to say that. So, all right. And he sought us out. He has something for us.
Absolutely.
He said.
Well, I enjoy watching breaking news, and while some of the viewers are not super happy about watching you guys eat on the show, I think it's kind of comical. And one of the things that you
got
guys
that,
had was from Buc-ee's, a big
Yes,
giant
yes,
gas
the Buc-ee's,
station that
right.
is literally 20 minutes from my house.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
Wow, it's close.
I figured you guys going to be here.
Yep.
And I said, I'm going to bring you some. So what did I bring? Some of the
Ah.
beaver nuggets from
Now,
Buc-ee's.
Can't have
those
enough
of you that love and remember the food segment, I think this was the first official food segment we did.
really?
Because there was the cheesecake, but that wasn't a thing. And then
Yeah,
after that,
yeah.
I brought these,
cool.
and
There you
and then
go.
a lot of people complained because they crunched. So
They were loud.
Very
Yes.
loud.
we will not feature these again because of the sound mostly.
Hold on a second.
That being said, Really?
There you go.
Well, that one's yours now.
I don't care about that. I gotta fix the audio. So, yes, they will get consumed. Don't worry, just not on
We'll
the
take care of
camera.
that, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Thank you. Everyone knows I love Buc-ee's. I have my mug that I always
There you
use.
go.
So
Got a lot-
awesome.
And I brought you 3 different
Oh,
flavors
look at
to
that.
choose from.
The cinnamon,
Yeah.
sea salted caramel, and these are the standard.
Those are the standards.
This is what we
Original.
tried.
Original.
Yeah,
I'll let you pick. What do you want? Have you had the? They
I
have
want sea salted
cheddar,
caramel.
like a
I have
cheddar
not had the
jalapeno,
cheddar. I have not had
or
it. It's
habanero
delicious.
is what they were.
Those sound good.
They're spicy, but they were
Next
really
year.
good.
Okay.
Anyways,
This is awesome.
which one would you like there?
Well,
I'll let
I
you
said
pick
I
first.
wanted this-
You want the
There
sea
you
salt?
go.
All right. I'm gonna actually do that one.
Okay.
Cool.
Really?
There
Yeah,
you
I like
go.
the cinnamon. So, and we have some stuff for you.
Got some swag. Yes.
you.
We will give you. We have the tiles for the Bricking News and the one from my channel,
Thank
the
you.
Oswald Army, and then we'll give you stickers
Oh,
for
you
each.
guys are awesome.
Got
Thank
swag.
you
And then
so
Alex
much.
has special convention
Yes.
exclusive
These are gummy bears.
Alex
representing my
swag.
my addiction to gummy bears, whether I'm on or off the camera. So there you are.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys
So
so
yeah.
much.
So
are
thank you.
welcome.
Are you displaying anything at the show?
I am. I'm a train guy.
Okay.
Train
So are
guy.
you
I
like
run
in the
trains.
city loop?
I am in the city loop
Okay.
with
Check
it
Brad
out.
and Adam and Jeff, and those guys are super awesome.
Okay.
Right on.
Yeah.
You know,
well.
it's great. I show up here, and I'm part of that family this
Nice.
whole weekend.
Yeah. Well, I was looking yesterday. I saw like there was a lifesaver trains and some
Yep.
other ones, so
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
There's some
So
fun stuff over
Yeah.
there. We have a blast.
yeah, we'll check that out. So
right.
all right. Well, thank you. We
Thank
love
you
us some
guys.
Buc-ee's.
Appreciate
So
it.
looking
Yeah,
forward to
glad
that.
All right.
to do it, and
This
glad to
will
kind
get
of-
me through the show, Mike. I appreciate
There
that.
you go.
There you go. And no
great.
one's going to complain about the noise you make crunching on them.
They'll
Gotta
just
get us away
complain
from
about
Mike,
him
yeah.
rattling the bag in front of the microphone.
Come on, I can't help myself.
Yep. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yep. All right, guys, welcome to another fantastic segment in our many, many fun interviews with people coming here to the show. We got Jim, who's got the famous Riverside Amusement Park here at Brick Slopes 2024. Jim, how long have you been doing this, man?
10 years this year.
Oh, so you've been here every single year?
Not the Brick Slopes, but the amusement
but
park.
the amusement park for 10 years.
Yes.
The whole solid decade. Hey, just like Brick Slopes, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
It
Same.
debuted a week before the Lego movie was released because we got an advanced screening invitation. So we set up in the
right.
lobby of the theater. It wasn't on a button then.
No buttons.
No buttons.
So, okay, hold on. That's my first question then. Why the buttons, man?
My lug, cow lug, came into a meeting and said, look, we got these buttons. And we want to do more interactivity and stuff like that. My brain went amusement park because I love amusement parks. So ever since I was a little kid, I always made them out of Lego, Lincoln Log, Tinker Toys, whatever I had on hand. And then this.
So it's grown quite a bit over the years.
Yes.
Right? So when it started out, was it like, what, a third of this size? This is the biggest it's ever been, I'm assuming.
This is half the size of last year.
Say what? Half the size?
Half the size.
Wow.
I had 23 rides last year. This has 12.
Wow, okay. But there's some new rides here, including the massive Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel is the new for this year.
Okay.
Everything else is previous.
And I don't think it was winter last year, right?
No, I just had massive, large area.
This is the only display that does not have a barrier all the way around it.
Nope.
Kids walk right up to this thing. They
Neat.
push these buttons. That's got to make you a little nervous, right?
No,
Not at all?
not at all.
Wow.
Even when they knock over trains and stuff, it doesn't bother
It's
me.
all good?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. You, my friend, are very brave. We love it.
It's Lego.
fun.
It can be rebuilt.
That's why if you
Sure.
notice, there's a buffer.
It's a pretty decent buffer. Absolutely.
It's not really
Well, I
far,
mean,
but big. But for the most part, I really keep minifigs away from the
Yes.
edge and stuff like that. Just the grabbables and stuff like that.
Well, if the kids, I mean, okay, the kids have something to touch anyway.
Yeah.
They got the buttons. That's usually going to be good for them, right?
Yeah.
They're happy with that, right? So, okay, so as you're back here, you're watching the kids run up there, and like, is that the best part? Just seeing their big smiles,
It
or
is.
it they're trying to? How about when they try to say the names of the rides?
That's the best. Like I said, Holy Ship of Death is my favorite when the kids say it because that's what the parents hear.
Yes. Holy ship of death. I love it, man. Clever namings.
I thought so.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite ride in the amusement park?
The Calamari of Death in the back.
Calamari of death.
Death. And why is that one your favorite?
I'll
like,
show
was
you.
it the build or the movement or?
The movement, time it took to build it and stuff like that was just, so it goes up and down, and
Oh, I
wow.
see. Oh, yeah, that would be challenging.
the engineering was fun to do and stuff like that.
Old people. Now, was that the most challenging build?
It took probably the longest.
Oh, really?
Because trying to get them, I knew what I wanted to do because I've seen the rides, the spider rides, the octopus,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then, so I knew you gotta have to, one part go one way, one go the other way, so it pulls the ropes and stuff like
Yeah.
that to get the things to lift. So trying to figure that in Lego with keeping it small and not complicated so it can run consistently was difficult until I just found put a wheel on going one direction since it's attached to the axle from the motor, and then an axle transversing up goes the opposite way, just out of natural.
And then it did what you needed. Okay.
But yeah, figuring out which way, then getting the center column decoration to hide all the axles and stuff like that. I had it taller, but it kept catching the chain, so I had to lower it, figure that out. And then getting the arms so they're level so they don't hit the motor and stuff like it's just constant adjustments and new parts replacements. I did a rebuild before I came here and put it together wrong. And
This seems, yeah, you said it was smaller than last year, but it's still quite the endeavor
Yeah.
to haul this thing here because you're coming from where?
Colorado,
Colorado. And how long of a drive was it?
it's 8 hours.
An 8-hour drive. This is all in a van or
It's my
trailer?
little car.
It's in a car. and you're you're setting this all up by yourself.
Yeah.
Right? This is a solo project that you're doing.
It's just me.
Just you, a one-man team, and it's a lot. And it's probably one of the if you talk to any kid that's come here today, like, what's your favorite part? It's probably the more interactive part of making the rides go. Most likely, I don't know. It'd be for me.
It's fun to look at, but it's more fun to play with it.
Yes.
Touch it. Yeah.
For sure. So how many shows or times a year do you get to display this?
I'll display a different version of it probably 2 to 3 times a year, depending on mood.
Okay.
After this show, I'll get home. I'll hate Lego. I don't want to do anything with it for a month or two.
I get that.
But I can go from small. My next show is going to be a 4x6 base plates. So basically a Ferris wheel, a couple other rides, and maybe a few scenery. And then it'll still be on buttons, and that's it.
Okay.
But for the big ones, I save it for generally conventions or the big train show in Colorado. Everything else is smaller.
I did want to make mention. I mean, you guys both know this already, but he has actually found a use for the transparent.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That there's an infamous piece we talk about on Breaking News.
You hate it.
Well, we see it at every Pick-a-Brick wall I've been to. And it is, of course, as you mentioned, the translucent satellite dish
There it is.
over there.
You got it. You
So
got it.
I was
And I didn't-
amazed.
And I didn't buy it off the Pick-a-Brick wall either.
See?
You didn't?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Did you get it on Bricklink or?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was looking for a canopy cover,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I wanted something different, and I saw those, and they work well with the
Yeah.
orange arms.
You got a couple in the Ferris wheel too, right?
Yep.
There you go. There you go.
Well, that is nice work to find a use for a part we thought had zero use in life.
It can be done.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
I love it.
So do you have other Lego like around your house and other themes that you do, or are you mostly just amusement park and that's pretty much all you focus
Do
on?
city, trains, monorails, and the amusement park. Basically all city type of stuff, and the Winter Village.
So do you have like a permanent city set up in your
I have no
house?
space.
Space.
No
What do you?
space.
They can't hear you.
Space.
There you go.
My Lego room is about the size of this area I have here. That's,
Oh, okay. That's pretty good
Oh,
size then.
okay.
Yeah. Right on.
But it's filled with parts and stuff like that to build with.
Yeah.
It's also got the access to my basement, my crawl space.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So what's next? What's the next ride, man?
I want to do a Christmas tree that it sits in the middle but doesn't move, then have like Christmas tree balls go around the outside of it.
Oh, wow.
I've seen somebody else do it. I thought it was really cool, and
Yeah.
Okay.
we're trying to do that. I would have had it done here, but I focused on actually making other things work properly before I got here.
Yeah, that's the priority. We get that.
Yeah. I was actually ready to go on Sunday.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had everything packed up.
Wow.
I was working until Wednesday night, so.
I usually do. I just I was prepared this year. It's kind of weird. It's not right.
Well, it's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
We love it. It's a highlight of the show every year.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, we appreciate you making the effort to get out here because that's not easy. I complain about coming 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. Well, at least I don't drop the things. And if I do, I can fix them here.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Not mentioning castles.
All right.
Anything else?
Well, thank you. No, I don't have any.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
This is awesome.
What's your favorite ride?
What's my favorite ride? Well, I mean, I kind of already said the satellite dish that you found use for it. I like, is that an ice maze in the back?
It is.
I think that's pretty cool. And I noticed you have the slide that is
slide's
like
going
the
to-
3 colors of the Brick Slopes logo.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if that was.
Was
No,
that on purpose?
No, it was.
I'm
what
going to
was
guess by the.
cheapest
Oh, is it?
Oh,
It was
really?
not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's No,
Yeah.
Of course it was. Yes.
it's whatever's cheapest and has the
Yeah.
most quantity of.
Yeah, that
right.
makes total
I
sense.
hear that.
So, I don't know. What's
Mine's
your
train.
favorite?
I
That's
want to
what
go on the train ride. Because look, here's the thing. I have noticed that as I've gotten older, I love roller coasters. And when the roller coaster stops, my brain needs like 3 seconds to like refocus and regain control of everything. I'm like, okay, I'm obviously not as young as I used to be. So I think like a lazy river kind of ride is kind of where I'm at right now in my older age. And that train looks fantastic.
A nice comfy bench.
A
There
nice,
you go.
comfy
That's a
bench
good
to
one.
Sit down. Yes. Yes. There you
Yep.
go. There
All
you
right.
go.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking a minute and sharing this with us. It's great.
Yeah, no problem.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Probably.
We'll probably see you in more comments, I'm going to guess.
Sure. We look forward to that.
We always
Yes.
love the Mother Brickin' News comments. So.
Yes.
Just for you guys.
Yeah, we love it. Yes. It's great.
And what's your favorite ride?
They won't hear you if you talk. So.
To be determined.
said-
Got it.
Any luck?
There he is. Karen. I'm gonna mess it up. Regatta.
So Alex just won a prize, and it is stunts.
You know it.
Yes.
Lego Master.
So now I won a set. Stunts. Couldn't see a happier Alex.
Karina Queen.
Oh, this one. Look at that one. Oh, he saw
All right, so we are fortunate at Brick Slopes this year to have the Bricklink team here. And we have my good friend Alex. You may have seen him when I did the Brick
The other
World.
Alex.
Yes, the other guy.
Hey, the other guy and the other Alex.
That's right.
Wow, there you
And
go.
so when my podcast partner Alex saw, he kind of, I'll be honest, he cried a little bit, like, oh, why did he get to talk to him? So I want to introduce you to, and hopefully you'll be okay talking to him for a minute. I understood, he said he would, but his stipulation, Alex, was that
Yeah.
we do a food segment.
Yeah.
So my daughter made something, so we'll let you interview,
Fantastic. Okay.
then we'll do a food segment, and we'll go from there. So
That sounds fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, that's the payment, I guess, right?
There
It's
you
fair.
go.
Well, Alex, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Again, right?
Great.
Been talking to you throughout the show. This has been fantastic. And seeing the physical models here is pretty cool. Is that to kind of like push out the hey, this is happening, this is a big thing, is to kind of get the knowledge out there this is going on and to
Yeah.
get in there and vote?
I think, well, there's a couple probably different things that we're trying to achieve with that. One, models look way different in photos than they do in real life.
Absolutely.
So it's a great way for fans to come and see them in person. But then two, it's a little treat for people that do come to some of the conventions. They get to talk to us one-on-one on some of the different features of the models, see them in hand, touch them, turn them around. You know,
Yep,
I
I've been doing
joke
that myself.
we need to have a sign that says, please touch our Lego,
Yes, yeah.
whereas
People are like,
everything
"Okay."
else here is
Yeah.
like, don't touch, don't touch. Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
go, touch away.
Have fun with it. But, you know, it's another way for fans to kind of see them in person. Yes, the timing works out because October 8th is when these are pre-ordering. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
September 3rd, you'll see the final images go live
Okay.
on the website. But yeah, it's just another way for us to get in touch with the fans and they can see everything in person. So.
Okay, but now I think you mentioned to me earlier that like I don't want this to get too crazy or too popular, but you're going to shows, like pretty popular shows, so you're obviously not concerned about that part of the advertising of this.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're talking to, you know, we're here talking to the people that we assume are purchasing most of these sets.
Sure, yeah.
Defaults, the high affinity fans.
Uh-huh.
We do have probably some medium affinity fans that are purchasing sets.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe there's a few low affinity fans that are kind of wandering in at an event
Yeah.
like this
Like,
that
ooh,
are
that's
seeing
neat.
them and
Yeah.
they're saying,
Right.
But again, I mean, if you look at the amount of sets that are being sold, not everything sells out, and that's to plan. We don't
Yeah.
expect everything to sell out.
Uh-huh.
If we wanted everything to sell 30,000 sets, the program would look a lot different.
Sure.
Uh,
So let me ask you a question about that then. How do you measure success? Like they have 3,000 is the pre-order.
That's success.
Minimum.
Getting manufactured.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that right? But
Yeah.
how would you personally measure the success? Like 30,000 everything, or is it like 15,000 is good, or?
No, I mean 10,000 is great.
Okay.
15,000, I said, yeah, you did really well.
Okay.
It totally depends on what the theme is.
Okay.
Castle obviously has a large fan base with it, so it's going to sell out faster. You're going to have other themes like buildings that'll also do really well.
Right, yeah.
Train, big population.
Trains,
with it.
yes.
Train's always big. But yeah, I mean, there are certain things like logging railway. It's a pretty unique layout in the sense
Yeah.
that it is a curved trestle bridge.
Yeah. Right.
That is, it's really more of a display piece, but it can be modified so that you can straighten it out if you want.
Oh, I didn't actually know
And
that.
it is designed to be flexible so that
Okay.
if you want to have a static display, you have
Uh-huh.
a static display.
Gotcha.
If you want to incorporate it in a layout, you can do that. All of these sets should have a little bit of flexibility in them so they can be tailored to your layout. You'll
Okay.
see some of our models have interchangeable layouts where, Ominous Isle, perfect example.
Yes.
One thing people always say is the display is always hard on certain sets because it's too wide for a shelf or it doesn't fit my layout a certain way. Well, Ominous Isle, you can mix
move
and
those
match
around,
the
yeah.
islands however you would like. Medieval Seaside Market is also a little modular in the sense that you can separate each of the segments. If you wanted to add another little piece to it, you can without having to disassemble the whole model.
Yeah.
Things like that, we are trying to just make it easier for fans to adapt to their
Yeah.
layouts.
Gotcha. So we're 2 series in here. I know. We wish we had more, history to go off of. But based on just the 2 series that have been already crowdfunded, do you feel like this is going very well? Like, what's your sense with all this and the
think
direction
so.
it's going?
Yeah, I mean, we're working on 7, 8, 9 right now for just the
Wow,
planning. So
yeah.
everything's always done 2 years out.
Yeah.
Or at least we have to work. Everything works back off of when we have our manufacturing dates.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people ask, "Oh, are we going to do more than 30,000? When's more than 30,000?"
Yeah, that's one of the questions
It's
I
not
had for
coming
you.
anytime soon
Darn
because
it.
I'm already locked in for Series
Okay.
9, 30,000 sets.
Oh wow. Okay.
And again, too, I think if you do more than that, then it shifts what the perspective of what success is. Again,
Yeah.
getting back to people
Right.
wondering, is 10,000, 15,000 successful?
Yeah.
It's very successful.
Very
That's
successful.
selling out the original series.
yeah. Right.
Again, we're always planned far in the future. Our manufacturing date is what sets the rest of the timeline.
Okay.
So having that manufacturing date, we work backwards off of that.
Yeah,
Figure
right,
out
backwards.
where do we start and where do we do submission intake.
Gotcha.
So now we know we're always every 4 months, and the great thing is now we're into Series 6, and it's been 2 years of the cycle so that the fan community understands this is the whole process.
Right.
This is what to expect, and it's rigid in the sense that you know when you need to be designing something, when the intake period, when voting is, when crowdfunding is always going to be. It's always going to be one of the same 3
Right.
months.
So Series 6,
Yep.
we've got some new rules.
Yeah.
People are kind of worked up about these new rules. Do you yourself feel like those are going to kind of inhibit a lot of people's submissions?
No.
You think you're going to get the same amount still?
No, I mean, a lot of the rules that we changed have not impacted anything that was a previous submission or things
Okay.
that were close from a finalist standpoint or we're at the top there. I know the modular thing, I feel like people have been, I don't even say it's reading between the lines, they've been separating the lines and taking segments of things and not
Yeah.
appreciating the whole sentence. So what we've said about modulars is that modulars is a recurring theme that the LEGO Group does. All the other recurring themes, like Ninjago, Friends, Monkey Kid, we haven't been doing.
Okay.
Well, we probably should have modulars on that list. So we're making that move. Especially knowing from a data standpoint, there's only been 1 modular that's been selected so far. So modulars haven't been as popular as what the fan community thinks they are.
Huh.
And maybe some of that too is I've been communicating this in some of the webinars or when I'm talking at fan events like here, is that there's a lot of parts, 4,000 part modulars, and I think that
Yeah,
that scares a lot
right
of fans,
at that
'cause they
limit,
think,
yes.
oh God, that's a $400 modular.
Yeah.
And modulars that are 32 by 32 are $230.
They're going to be 220, 230, yes.
You know, so it's like, I think that fans are smart. They know,
They know
can
yeah.
kind of have an idea of what things are, where pricing's at and whatnot. So hopefully we're people are going to start ratcheting that back a little
Yeah.
bit. AFOL's kind of will, I know I will just pack a bunch of detail into a model that I designed because I don't have a budget on it. Well, now you have to kind of think like a Lego designer and have a little bit of budget
Yeah.
when you design.
Do you yourself kind of push back on like the prices? A lot of people when I'm making my videos,
Yeah.
I'll say I'm guessing this is going to be $200, and they go, "Wow, Alex, that's really optimistic. Just add $50 to whatever Alex is saying." What's your answer to that with the prices on these?
Pricing is one of those things where I think everyone looks at part per piece, but that's really one of 3 different measurements that we have. It's the amount of parts that you have,
Sure.
the amount of raw material that goes into that. So
Yes.
do you have big parts versus small parts? I mean, one side of that is, old train engine shed had a lower part count, but actually has a ton of 1x16
pieces,
bricks in it,
right.
bunch of
Yeah.
big plates. You see it's 2 full base plates, 2 32 by 30
Yeah,
base
it's
plates.
big, right.
The whole opposite end of that spectrum would be Duplo sets.
Yeah.
Very low parts, very low part count, very high part count, or very
Material count.
high, material.
So it's
Then
the whole weight of it, right?
Yeah.
See, weight.
And then the third is the amount of unique elements that are in a set.
Oh,
too.
right,
So,
yeah.
and I
Okay.
don't mean, when I say unique, it's not, these are new to this
Right,
set.
they're just
It's
different pieces.
Different lot types, yeah.
Yes,
So, an example of that would be art sets. It might be 4,000 parts in an art
Yeah,
set, and it's
right.
only $100.
Yeah.
Because if there's only 24 different types of parts in a set, well, it's a lot easier to manufacture.
Yep.
So
Makes sense, yeah.
that also all comes into play. So these 3 things will all factor and influence to what a set is.
Right.
Now me, as I'm going through and we get the pricing from finance, I will then look at it and say, okay, I'm looking at direct comparisons. So for Brick Cross, for example, I'll look at it and say, hey, this is what a standard modular costs. This is what the large modular costs, like Natural History Museum.
Right, yeah.
I'm hoping we're somewhere in between there. Now, we have limits to what we can do because we have smaller economies of scale. So we're doing 30,000 sets.
Right,
Some
Not
other
half a
sets might
million.
be doing 500,000.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, those are things that, obviously we're going to have a little bit higher price point. And I think after 2 series, people are seeing kind of where we fall in. It's generally that 9 cents per part, but again, that's just a number. That is
Sure. Yeah.
not
Can't
directly
hold you
tied.
to it,
Because if
right,
you go back
yeah.
and look at everything, you might be down as low as 7 cents. You could be up at 9.5. It's going to be somewhere in that range, but there will always be something that will explain why, and it's usually, hey, you look at how heavy Mountain Fortress is compared
Yeah,
to
it's a
another
beast.
set.
Yeah.
It's going to, that gives you an idea of, hey,
Yeah.
that's why.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. All right. Now, before we enter
Well, I
our,
have a question,
go ahead.
Because I noticed this when we walked up, and you kind of alluded to, Brick Cross Station. That's probably going to be the only quote unquote modular style building we're going to get, which is fine.
in a sense, though, because
I mean, it's not a true. I didn't.
Well,
I mean, it'll fit
not
in a
a
modular
modular,
suite, but
yeah,
it's not true.
right.
yeah.
But I mean, you had alluded to it. So the question I have, because I noticed when I came up, the Harbor Master, it has a gas pump in it. And I don't
That
wanna-
would not be
I mean,
acceptable.
this is what I would say. I mean, I think plenty of people have their thoughts about whatever the rules are.
Yeah.
But something like that, if someone was to submit something, would that be something you'd go back and say, hey, you got to take this out,
Yeah.
or you would tell them,
No at all, yeah.
we can't.
Can it.
Just you're not
We would-
included.
Yeah, and I guess this is something too that I feel like a lot of fans, just as fan designers, I should say, assume that we rule with this iron fist and we will just reject everything, and that is not the case.
Rejected.
If you submit something, you put a lot of time and effort into that, and we want to respect that. So if there's something that we see as an illegal technique, depending on how integral it is to the model, we're not going to bother you to change that. We'll fix that if you become a finalist. We'll tell you what needs to change.
Gotcha.
Series 3 gas station or gas pump, totally fine. Series 6 going forward,
Probably not.
we'd probably ask and say, hey, can we change this around?
Yeah.
Let's do something different in
Right.
that area. Harbor Master is also a good example on another variation of another rule, which is iconography in English. English is not, is one of the most common languages in the world, but is not spoken by all of our customers and all the designers. So that's something where we try to limit the amount of English on models, and we'll try to switch it to iconography. So if you look at that model, when you see the final images for it, and if you go back and look at the original, you'll see a lot of the English is we've tried to remove as much as we can and switch as much of it to iconography, like the scuba flag, which is a universal symbol, versus having just English on there. Or there'll be a fishing rod and a fish attached to it, so there's fishing supplies sold here. That type of thing. So, so that's another thing that we try to do. But again, that's not something when you submit it, we're like, hey, you can't do that. We will adjust a lot of that stuff at the finalist stage because it's a little too nitpicky to be like, hey, you have to do this on the submission phase.
Right.
We have over 300 submissions that we have to go through.
That's
and
we
want to give everyone the time and the respect of reviewing this model that you put all that time into. So therefore we gotta pick and choose where we're going to provide a ton of feedback, and we'll do that to the critical things that are going to prevent you from either being picked as a finalist if we see something that could cause an issue down the road when we put a lot of effort into reviewing a model, or something that is a blatant violation of a rule. So typically the big things that we look at are under 4,000 parts, over 4,000 parts. Is it IP? Some of those things will, you didn't read the rules at all. This type of thing. Or
so if I submit a build that's just a gas pump, probably an automatic.
It'll be like Jason's permanently
banned. Hey, that's a cool status.
There you go. But also, I was thinking that might be like a rare one. People will be like, that's the last one that had a gas pump.
I
didn't notice until I came up. So
be rare and valuable, you guys.
And then too, I just want to touch on the modular thing again.
Okay.
Just because something looks like a modular doesn't mean that that's banned and that it can't be done going forward. All we're asking is that it's all three elements of the base plate that makes it a modular. We cannot do.
I got you.
So I think people are picking out portions of that and saying, can't do base plates anymore. No, it's a 32 by 32 base plate with the tile layout that is assigned, or the tile format that is used for sidewalks in modulars, and
the
pins.
Yep, the pins.
So it doesn't mean you can do, it doesn't mean you can't do 3-story downtown road front style building. That doesn't mean you can't do that. It just means you have to do the base plate layout different. So that's all we're asking.
All right.
Doesn't mean you can't do them anymore.
It's good to know.
It's just having the base be laid out just a little bit differently so that people, so we're not just really carrying on what the brands and modulars has created.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think it's good that you are open and willing to explain this to people, because people read stuff into it and assume things, and so I'm glad you're.
Well, the exact point, if we don't elaborate on these things, if we don't get out and talk to as many people as we can about these rule changes, people assume or interpret how they think it is.
And it's never going to be in your favor, probably.
It will, and they're always going to think we're being way more heavy-handed than we are. We're just letting you know these are the little things that are changing.
Gotcha.
Honestly, the biggest rule change for Series 6 that I can't believe people aren't picking up on at all is that we've removed the limit for how many times you can resubmit. So it used to be you could only submit your model twice, and then it was done. Now we've removed that, and we said as long as you keep working on that model,
making progress,
or showing that you're working on it and trying to refine the design and get better, you're good. You can keep submitting it. Because what we want to see is, we have fan designers that are new to the program, and we don't want it to just be the same finalists all the time. We want to help coach up some of the newer fan designers so that they can make it to that level. And I don't want them to put all this effort into a model and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you can't submit it anymore, timed out. It's like, no. I want to see you keep working on a model, and we've had that with a few designers where they're getting feedback from the community and they're actively inputting that information. And all of a sudden you see, they might have been here on a voting standpoint, and then the next series they're here, and then they're coming up, and I'm like, it's great seeing these fan designers learn these things and not have to throw a model away. So to me, that's the biggest thing, is like, we're trying to open it up and make this as accessible and easy for everyone.
And for those people submitting these designs, can you give our audience some input on how that's worked when you guys review it? So you get the fan vote, right? And let's say there's 300 submissions. You look at like what, the top 10, the top 50, top 100?
Top 50-ish.
Top 50?
Top 50
Okay.
is about what we look at. We do an internal top 20, and that means
Okay.
these are 20 that could be finalists out of that top 50.
Okay.
Assuming that we have a couple castles that are different sizes, or castle theme. I shouldn't say just castle, but
Yeah.
castle theme. Maybe there's a pirate or two. It's all things from that top list, and they have to be a variety of sizes. So we need to have,
right.
here's 3 options for a small set. Here's 3 options for the big set.
And you try to diversify the size so the pricing is good for the consumer.
And so the way that I've explained this a few times, but for Series 1, Mountain Fortress, highest voted set for the series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
4,000 part in Castle. Okay, so we can't select any more Castle.
It's
And
just
4,000 part, another 4,000 set part is hard if we don't have another highly voted small set. You know, the
Gotcha.
delta between
Yes.
2,500 part average and 4,000, that's 1,500 parts.
Right.
So you need 1,500 parts the opposite direction to offset that. When you have something like Snack Shack, we then go down the list and say, okay, where's the highest voted small set? Oh, it's Snack Shack. Okay, now you just got a delta of 2,000 parts because you're you're 500 to 2,500. Okay, so that gets us. We can do another bigger set. Well, what's the number 2 set? Oh, it was Parisian Street. Okay, perfect. That's a 3,500 part set, so we can do that because we have a little bit of room.
All right.
Oh, but then now we're going to look at the rest of the series and say, okay, well, buildings blocked from Parisian Street, castles blocked. Snack Shack, it's not really one theme.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not going to block anything else. Maybe there's another food truck. We wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But
Another
so
food
then we go
truck.
down the list. We say, okay, we need something that's 2,500-ish parts. Oh, you go down the list. Oh, that's castle. Oh, that's building. Oh, number 6, old train engine shed.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. And it's
Gotcha.
2,600 parts. Perfect. Boom. There you're in. You're slotted in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, based off of that, you know, you've got 1,600 to 1,800 parts that we need. And it can't be train and it can't be castle. We'll work our way down. There's general store. Maybe it was like 14, 15, somewhere in there. I don't remember what it was on top of my head. But there it is. Boom. So it's not always the top 5, but it's got to be somewhere in the top 50. And that's how in Series 4 you end up with 2 castle sets, because by the time we're, you know, the highest voted sets were medium sets, and then we didn't have a small set that was at the within that kind of top 50 range that would be acceptable to have in there. So all of a sudden, if we don't have a small set to offset a large set, well, then all of a sudden we're kind of trapped. And that's how we end up in this really weird situation.
Right.
Your window shrinks.
Yeah, the window starts shrinking, and then all of a sudden it's like, we don't have enough diversity of theme for these 2,500 or 2,000 to 3,000 part sets. So then all of a sudden we got to go back to the top of the list. That's how you end up with double castle.
Yeah, because like a lot of the early criticism was like, this is just like a way to get castle sets out of this
you know,
thing.
it's bad timing because then Series 1 just happened, crowdfunding just happened, so you see Mountain Fortress sell out in 2.5 hours. It makes sense to people to assume. That's only logical. Hey, this sold out in 2.5 hours. They're doing extra castle. Makes total sense. But that's why I try to communicate this so that.
But you guys threw out all the castle designs in this last series, Series 5.
Yeah,
there
we
was a
had
lot.
30%. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of them got the boot.
And they all got beat out. They all got beat out.
How about
so
that?
it wasn't that, you know, castle just wasn't as, you know, there were a lot of sets, so maybe that kind of hurt in a sense.
Yeah.
But then by also having, there were 2 sets, Tortuga and Adventure in Transylvania, beat out those castle sets that were right there at the top. And then anything that was in the size frame that we needed below that, just it wasn't there. So they kind of got left out. But it was a good time where, hey, maybe one of those small castle sets, if there was a really good small castle set, that was the chance for it to
That
sneak
would
in.
be, okay, that makes sense.
So-
but they were all pretty good size.
Yeah.
Medium to big sets, for sure.
Yeah, we needed something in that, like, I think, where did Antique Store come in? It was like 1,800-ish parts somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
You needed something kind of right in that size frame, and it would have been perfect.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
that would have been the time to sneak in with a smaller castle set.
We almost had it, guys. Well, this has been fun, and hopefully, Tanya, your arms are not dying over there, because we got one more thing to do. Are you guys ready for this?
This was your request. So now my daughter actually made these last night, so we know Alex is going to be excited.
I love this stuff.
These are,
doesn't matter.
I think she said Texas sheet cake cookies.
Oh, are these like, they look like no bakes?
No,
They
they're
look-
baked.
yeah.
They're baked. They're covered with a chocolate ganache, I guess.
Ooh,
So you
wow.
can see what you think here.
Are you guys ready for this? Oh, it smells delicious.
I hope you like chocolate.
A+.
That is rich. Oh, baby. Oh,
But it's not dark.
it's not dark?
No, it's
It's all milk chocolate?
It's a milk chocolate. Anyway,
Wow.
hopefully it's up to your standard.
Oh, this is great.
Delicious,
I needed
right?
a little pick-me-up. Haven't
There you
had
go.
lunch once since I've been here, so
Man, no kidding.
Well, this is, I guess,
Just go, go, go.
it's got eggs or something in it.
yeah, we're good.
There you go. Well, thank you for taking time with us.
Hey,
We
thank you.
it.
Appreciate it.
It's been great.
And,
As always, it's a pleasure. I love talking
Maybe we'll
with
see
you.
you at another convention.
Hopefully we do, yeah.
Okay.
See you soon.
All right, thanks.
See you.
All right, so while we're at Brick Slopes, we are going to highlight a build with a builder, someone in community commentary. Why don't you come on over, sir?
Oh, thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
So we have, what's your name?
My name is Alex.
Oh, this is Alex.
Hi.
So I understand you built something and you're displaying it here.
I sure am, Jason. Yeah.
What do you have?
Well, gosh, this is a micro scale city. I call it Smarty City.
Because is it smart?
Well, you would think that, but it's just a city. It's a commission project I did for a company called Smarty, if you can believe that.
Okay.
Hence the name, right?
All right.
So this was a commission project I did earlier this year, and it was a lot of fun. It's my first attempt at really building in micro scale, other than just dabbling with little vehicles here and there on a really weird podcast that I do with some guy. But this has been a lot of fun. It's a labor of love kind of project. It took me about 3 months to complete this project from start to finish. Of course, I have a full-time job and kids and all that good stuff, so finding time was quite challenging, as you can imagine. But I sacrificed a lot of weekends and evenings to get her done.
So what was your favorite part of building this?
Oh, that's tough. I had a great time building all the sections. It's actually built in 4 different sections. It actually comes apart in corners, basically.
Yep.
But I have to say my favorite part was definitely the downtown area. Even though it uses the most pieces, I had the most fun building each of these skyscrapers, and trying to make them very unique and different in colors was a lot of fun and a great challenge that I had a great time with.
Okay. And was there a part that you struggled with or didn't enjoy as much? We'll just say?
Yeah, I'd have to say so, yes. I think the hardest part for me was the residential area. Trying to build the individual houses and getting the scale right was tough, but in the end, they turned out okay. There's not a lot of houses you can see, but for some reason that section took me the absolute longest.
So I got to ask you, what is the deal with the car on the train tracks?
Why
is it hit by a train?
You know what? That's a good question. I have no idea.
Is that not supposed to be there? I just noticed that.
You know what? I'm noticing that for the first time too. It looks like this guy's going a little off the roads there. So
I mean, the bar is down, so that's why
the bar is down. He might, he's in a red car, and usually people in red sports cars like to do. They think they, can do whatever they want.
I didn't know if you were like trying to recreate.
No,
Groundhog Day.
Maybe that would certainly be. Maybe I should go for that, right?
I don't know.
But that was definitely not the intention.
Well, I think it turned out great. I mean, we've talked about this. I mean, everyone
Sure.
on the podcast probably followed it. So
Yeah.
Do you see this as something you're going to continue to do, like in your personal collection, or not?
I don't think so. Mostly because there's really no space for it. So I don't really have the real estate at home to do anything like this. If I was starting over, I think I would dabble in it for sure. I think it's a lot of fun. It's just a very different way or a different approach to building Lego City that's more manageable as far as your space goes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, anything else you want to tell the viewers before we end your big moment on community commentary?
Man, this has been an honor to be on your podcast for community commentary. This is a great build. I'm going to bring it back to Smarty. It was actually there for 2 months. We went and picked it up here a couple days ago, and I'll drop it off, of course, sometime next week. Now, I'm a huge fan of the podcast, as you can see right here. I do have a sign that says the Breaking News Podcast.
Nice.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing this with us
Yeah.
and for being a guest on Breaking News.
You're absolutely welcome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, so we are here with West Valley Brick Builders. We've seen Doug and crew comment from time to time on our videos. Now, they were here last year. We had Secrets of Wildwood, right?
Yep.
My favorite.
That was one we definitely loved that. And then we saw the micro build gift for Alex, which was awesome. They're back again with at least a taller. I don't know if we want to say more impressive because last year's was impressive. So I don't know, but definitely a more technical build, I'm going to say. So we have Grandmother Willow. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this, Doug?
So we actually limited ourselves to 1 tree this year.
Well, you were training for more? Like,
well, remember last year we had like 200 trees.
I love those trees.
So we only did 1 this year. So yeah, we're from Avondale, Arizona, and we basically don't know any better. We just build. The build tells us when to stop. And so I'm Doug. I kind of run the show. This is Marley, Sarah, Ron, Kelly, Marvin, Linda, Daniel, and my wife Tracy.
It's quite the crew here.
So everyone made the trip up.
Yeah, and Ron's son's here somewhere, but he disappeared.
He's right in front of you.
Oh, he's right there.
Oh, he's hiding behind the camera. He doesn't want to be on camera.
Okay.
All right, so what was the inspiration for the build here?
Whose bright idea was
I will
this?
let Sarah tell you that.
So we were sitting in the closing ceremonies, and they told us that the next year was going to be Let It Grow, and instantly Grandmother Willow popped into my head. And
So
I was
that's
like,
from Pocahontas, right?
Yes,
Just for those
yes.
who don't know.
And I was like, we have to do Grandmother Willow, and we have to have it talking. Like, that would just be an epic build. And so on the way home, we had Doug ride home with us, and we planned it all out in the, 10-hour drive home?
Yeah. 10 hours in a truck together, and this is what happens.
So this only took you 10 hours to build?
To design.
Impressive. So me and Marley sat in the back seat, and we watched Pocahontas, and then Doug was writing on his tablet, like all the things that we wanted to add into it.
Yes, no, yes. Okay, how about now?
So from the inspiration in your mind to what you see right now, is it fairly similar to what you were thinking?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it turned out very, very close to what we had imagined it would be.
Fantastic.
And so in the tree, I know there's been some issues when you brought it up, like the doors were supposed to open, and 10-hour drive doesn't really do Lego well, we'll just say, right? But we've got the doors open, so there's little vignettes with scenes from different Disney movies, and then along the base. So what was the idea there? Was that from the initial, or?
So,
Let Marvin take that one.
I'll let Marvin answer that one.
Talk about the vignettes.
So the vignettes, so since this was a Grandmother Willow, we were looking at kind of a Disney theme, and so a lot of the vignettes are along the Disney line. And almost everybody in here kind of participated in that and put a vignette into the build.
All right.
Yeah, they look all great. Yeah.
And so you guys were so hard up for help, you reached out to Alex and I, and you're like,
pretty
well,
desperate.
No, we had such a good time with you guys last year. We're just like, hey, I got a project coming up. Do you guys want to participate? It's kind of hush hush.
Well, and we were honored when you reached out. So,
absolutely. Yes.
yeah, and you know, it was funny because we talked about it. It was fairly early you reached out to us.
Yeah.
And we talked about what we were going to do. We had a few months, and then I finally, I don't know, 3 months ago, I was like, I got to start doing something. And then Alex was like, oh man, now I got to start doing my thing. So
did it a couple weeks ago.
Anyways.
Yeah,
But-
they turned out great.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing, and you know, just all the detail, and that's, I think, one of the neat things when you can have everyone collaborate on something like this. I don't know, it's amazing that you can make something so technical and still have other people participate that are 10 hours away.
Yeah, we try to get everybody in the club to participate. Some days it's easier than others. You know, our teenagers probably got a little bit of abuse because they did all the tedious work for us, but we appreciate everything that they did, and it helped because we didn't have any fingertips left after a while.
Oh, absolutely.
So are we talking about like the vines and the canopy and that was the tedious part?
Yeah, so each vine has like 3 different pieces, and you have to push them into like 3 holes. And so like our fingers were so sore by the end, so we passed it on to the teenagers. And we were like, here, you guys do this for us.
Getting the little pin through the hole and then another, I got it.
And then once they're in there, they're like stuck in there. So when you made a mistake and you had to pull them out, you had to get like tweezers or something to grab onto them because they were so tiny you couldn't lift them up. So tweezers were a big tool in what we were using.
The most common questions I'm sure you guys have been getting all show is how many pieces?
We estimated over 300,000 parts.
300,000.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing that's a low estimate from that thing, but the next
way of
question
knowing.
is, yeah, right. Count it right now. Come on. How much weight? How much does this thing weigh? Any ideas?
So the table is rated for 300 pounds. We're not even. 150 would be my guess. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
The Technic structure actually saves a lot of weight.
Oh yes.
So we may never know.
We may never know. Well, we can certainly assume. That's a lot, right? We can talk about doors.
Yeah, so that was the other kind of, I think, leads into the next part is the mechanisms.
Yeah.
Like the doors, and I would imagine the face was maybe the most complex part.
Yeah.
Synchronizing sound and movement and all of that kind of stuff.
So Doug has doors on the tree, and then he also has the face.
Okay.
We had the doors down on the base, and
Okay.
the corners, they're the bifold doors, and Marvin and we spent hours trying to get those work, figure them out. Like, there's nothing on YouTube that like teaches you how to do that. So, and we had them working pretty good.
Yeah, we saw it. It was great.
And I just think that just the traveling up here kind of messed it up a little bit. And then the side doors, we had those swing open.
Yep.
And it's basically the same movement for the bifold doors. It's just the gears are in different places. And then we had the little trays that push out using worm gears. So that was really cool. But Marvin really has a lot of credit for that. And Doug's doors are different.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah. So mine have a lot to do with alignment. If everything isn't just right, then some of them will work, some of them don't, and it just they were working fine until I put them in the tree.
We were, but you did get the motorization to work in the face.
Yeah, the face. It was kind of like trying to reprogram a rover on another planet because I couldn't get into it.
Right.
But luckily, I had rebuilt the mechanism last weekend to make it a lot simpler, and it was just kind of a rotating hammer. And once I got the hammers realigned, then it was able to reset itself.
Right.
But it's doing it blind and not being able to tell where your motors are set.
Yeah.
So
as people come in, this is the first thing they see when they come to the show, and it's pretty wow. It's like, okay, well now lower your expectations because this is the best thing here, right? That's what I think anyway. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I was bummed that the doors don't open, but at least people can see my Wally, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
so I'm happy.
So we call that Plan F.
Yeah.
Whenever your technology isn't working.
Stand for a lot of things.
Yeah,
we'll just
that's
say
why I
Plan
said
F.
it's Plan F. Well, we just say fall back to, okay, we know what we want to show. That's what needs to be visible.
Fantastic.
And lastly, I want to ask about the bark, because it's very clear that you can tell that's what it's supposed to be, and it portrays it. Who came up with the design on that?
Well, we wanted it to be more realistic, and we were looking at pictures of willow trees, and we noticed that the willow tree bark is not brown, and there was lots of shades of like blues and grays, and so we used light gray, dark gray, sand blue, dark tan, basically anything we could find that were in the similar color range, and you can find all of those on the tree.
Well, it looks great.
And then it was just kind of a matter of keeping a flow and not just knowing when to overlap and underlap. And it was just try not to do the same pattern, but not be just it had to flow.
Try to make it look natural.
Yeah.
We tried to keep the darker colors as the base and then gradually get lighter. So
Yeah.
it was more of a natural shading.
And the base of the tree, like it is slightly wider at the bottom.
So it has
slightly.
a taper. Each quarter, each panel that goes up, it tapers up a little bit more to the halfway point, and then it's straight.
Gotcha.
And that's mostly to keep it from tipping.
Yeah. We can do cow tipping, but not tree tipping.
I don't want to turn. Yeah.
Now, is it true that the motors inside need to cool off after it's gone through a few cycles? Is that right? Or is it usually pretty good to go?
It's good.
All good? Okay, all right.
Yep.
Because it looks pretty intense, especially with all the moving pieces on the face, man. Wow. Right, that was...
There's a lot of magic going on there.
Yeah. Is that what the kids, like, everybody notices the first, like, oh my gosh, this thing is, like, talking to me?
Yeah. They'll be standing there, and then she wakes up, and they're like, Oh my. So.
The adults do too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
think the kids notice the vignettes first.
Right.
Oh,
Because
do
they're
they
at that
really?
level,
Oh,
so they're like,
at the base.
oh, there's Woody or there's
Yeah,
Stitch.
We learned a lot from last year's build to have things at different height levels so
Yeah.
people could actually, everybody can enjoy it at the same time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us quickly about the club?
Okay.
You guys are based out of Avondale?
Yeah, we're based out of the Bricks and Minifigs at Avondale, Arizona, and we meet every month on the second Wednesday for 2 hours. And if you're interested in our area, just reach out to us and we'll let you know when the next meeting is and come build with us.
Okay. I'm sure they can go into the local Bricks and Minifigs in Avondale and get details as well, right? Okay.
Yep. We have cards and stuff there. And
We also have an Instagram page too where we post things about our club as well. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll go ahead and share
we'll
that.
put that in the description below, so please check them out.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for involving us the tiniest bit. Alex has his acceptance speech if you
I'll go
win an
up there.
award.
It was a tough group effort.
You guys really outdid yourselves on this. So
Yes, fantastic build. Thanks
even
for
with
bringing
the
this.
issues, I hope you feel proud because you should.
Oh, we're excited.
Oh, wonderful.
It's been good. The last couple days have been trying for me, but I'm working through it. So.
Well, this is the payoff,
We
right?
can literally say that our blood, sweat, and tears went into this build.
Oh, literally, nice. There you go. It's sharp stuff.
Yes.
We know, man. Well, so you guys that are actually here, it's fantastic to see you. You got a bigger group this time,
one
right?
more thing. Kelly did all our voice work. Her and her son did all the voice work for us.
Those dad jokes are amazing.
I just like to shout out the kids and I just like to shout out there are people that are back at home in AZ that did a lot of work on this stuff and they're not here.
Yeah.
And it's a team effort.
Yeah.
So
We
hats
couldn't have
off.
done it without everybody.
Right. The little things make the big things better.
They do.
Exactly.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, there's one more thing I don't know if you guys noticed, but we actually have a smaller version of our tree on the side, and there's us as minifigures building it, and our member Daniel built the tree.
I see we're sneaking in at the end.
I love it. I love little Easter eggs like that. It's
That's cool.
fantastic. Really clever stuff, guys. Thank you.
Well, thanks for taking time to share this with us, and congratulations on the great build.
Thanks.
Yeah, win some prizes, guys.
There you
Win
go.
some prizes.
All right, so Friday night lights.
Friday Night
Is that what
Lights.
this is?
Yeah, but hopefully better.
So they're turned off the lights. You can see it's a little bit darker in here. I think it's better than last year.
Yeah, it
Still
is a little
got
better.
some lights, but
Yeah, but it's not where anybody really is.
yeah, there's a few, but I think we're okay. So we're gonna go and highlight some of the builds that have lighting.
Yes.
Those would not be ours.
Not be ours. We
But-
are in the dark, as always.
It's generally what people expect from our podcast.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let's go out and check those out, and we'll see what else is going on after.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, so Brick Slopes 2024, you can see it's come to an end. It's amazing how fast
It was so fast.
the cleanup went. Like within the hour, because they have an hour after the public closes
Yep.
to closing ceremonies, and we're just a little bit
it
after
makes
that.
you
and
wonder if they
it's-
even need because tomorrow morning they have a few hours in the morning where it's cleanup as well.
Yeah, there might be a few things. Anyways,
Yeah.
oh, I think David's here to get his Minecraft thing. Anyways.
Oh, good.
Irregardless.
Irregardless of that, here we are. It's fantastic. It's
yeah.
fantastic.
Any final thoughts? Anything you want to wrap up with
Oh man,
Brick Slopes?
it was such a blast, and it was so fun meeting so many fans that recognized us and our channels, and just really appreciated our content. It really meant a lot to us. So we just a big thank you to all of you who made it out. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I'm talking so much. I am on pure adrenaline, and it's wearing out really fast. I'm like so tired. It's been, like you said, it's been a blur.
Yeah.
But really, just like the people was awesome. Like
Yep.
I think Friday I was fixing the mock or the castle.
Yep, the Lone
And then
Steen
Saturday was just, it was a long day, but it felt like
Yeah.
it was so short because there's so many people I was talking to, like one after another. It was bam, bam. I barely had time to eat. In fact, I didn't eat a lot. I just went.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even think I ate dinner tonight. And you get home at like 10 o'clock at night, and you're like, why am I so hungry? Oh yeah, I ate 12 hours ago, you know.
Yep,
But
that
yeah,
happens.
it was a blast, and I love it, and
Yeah.
I look forward to next year already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
no,
did
it was
we-
great. All the, Lego Masters were
A lot of
really
Lego
great
Masters
to interact
here.
with.
Yeah, they were
And,
great. Yeah.
The Bricklink guys were a lot of fun. Stuart from Lego House was here.
Uh-huh,
So
yeah.
I met him. I got him to
Okay.
sign my duck and my
Oh, good.
pirate box.
Oh, good. I'm glad you
So
found
that was
him.
fun.
I was really
So-
worried about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you ended up bringing your Oswald army eventually because a lot of people were giving you crap
Yes,
about that.
people did want to see
Yeah.
that, so I brought that for Saturday and then today, and
Yeah.
it got some good feedback. So
Yeah.
anyway.
No, it was fantastic. Cool. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I can't remember.
Any highlight for you? What was your number one thing?
My number one thing.
Yeah, well, your one highlight that you'll remember. Was it your stunt set that you won? Or was it that right after I made fun of you, I won a stunt set? That was too ironic, I thought.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think I had a great time talking to Alex at Bricklink. That was a lot of fun. But I also had fun talking to the Lego Masters with Tim. That was a blast. He was so fun to just chill with for that hour and a half or whatever long it was. And then the Pink Girls, Kelly and Emily, right?
Emily and Kelly, yeah.
They were fun. It was a quick interview with them and just saying hi to people. Like, you recognize a lot of people year to year. And there's a lot of repeat faces, and they recognize you, and you recognize them. I'm like, I recognize people too now. It's so cool. And we have an awesome relationship with West Valley Brick Builders. They're amazing.
Yep.
And once again, they
Runner-up.
win the runner-up. Why don't they just win it all? I mean, look at how amazing that thing is. I just feel
Well, my
like,
build was
man.
next to the winner.
So what does that make
so
you?
I was, what was I, winner adjacent?
Winter adjacent. Yeah, that was, no, there was a lot of
Anyway.
stuff. You know, I realized too that I had barely enough time to even just do my own filming for my
Yeah.
own channel. In fact, I think I don't even get to the art sets. I don't even get like
I think there's a lot
it.
of stuff I wanted to get that I missed.
Yeah.
Because some of the time I like to kind of go through without actually filming, because I just want to see what's there and get a feel, and then sometimes I might forget to go back. And I guess I'll
Yeah.
find out.
We'll
Maybe
find
you'll
out.
see some of the best stuff. Maybe I didn't get it. I don't know.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I signed a few things.
Oh, you
today.
did?
I did some signatures.
Were they gummy bears?
I did sign a gummy bear package. Funny enough.
Really?
That was awkward. Yeah, I don't know who I did it for. I was like,
funny.
oh, here, I'll sign it for you. There you go. And a couple of kids found me on YouTube, and as I was like, are you a YouTuber? And they were like, what's your channel? Will you sign this? I'm like, dang, this is for, anyways, it was a lot of fun. It was cute. So it was, this is like, we're in our element here, and these are
Yes.
our people, and we just like, I wish it went longer. But at the same time, I'm glad it's over. So I'm exhausted. But I took tomorrow off of work too, just so I can recover.
Yeah,
from
not all of
this
us
fun.
did that. So.
Yep. So.
All right.
How about you? What was your highlight?
Honestly, I'll be honest. The big thing for me was having Stuart Harris, the Lego house designer. He came through and he was looking at the Oswald vignettes, and he stopped and took a picture of them.
Nice.
And
Very
I mean,
nice.
I'm not saying it was the best build at the convention or anything, but the fact that someone takes a picture of something,
Yes.
that says that it
Yeah.
connected at least a little bit with
Absolutely.
him. And so I thought that was
Right.
kind of cool.
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe he was going to show it, like, look at what the horrible thing this guy did. But I don't think that's the case.
And you know, my goal of the 1/8 scale supercars, I think I achieved my goal because I just brought it because I think people would think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people taking pictures of those cars.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, I was like, okay, it's worth it. I'm glad people were enjoying it. So that was fun to see that.
Yeah.
You know? And giving the tours, like I was giving the personal tour to my parents when they showed up for our live
Yep.
stream. That
Yep.
was fun. And a lot of family members came by, and my boss even came by.
Oh, really? I didn't know
and,
that.
Amy, she is the what is she over? Compliance. She's the compliance manager of our company. She gave me the beans about not being there for one of my compliance calls with my boss and my counterparts. It's like, this is where you are. I figured you'd be at Brick Slopes. Because she asked my boss, like, where's Alex? Like, is he at Brick Slopes? Yeah. Anyway, it's funny. And her brother won the Best Castle Award.
Oh, is that?
That
oh,
was
you're-
that.
okay.
That was the
Okay.
guy.
I remember
yeah.
talking to him.
So anyway,
Cool.
so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
I'm sad it's over. It was like,
Well, it'll be back next year. What's the theme?
the theme is a pirate's life.
Pirate's life for me.
So what do you guys think about that? Should we do a collab build? A pirate's life for me?
Who, you and me?
Yeah, you and I.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. A pirate.
A pirate?
Ship,
Okay.
Pirate ship. Well, it's got to be like, it's got to be clever and funny if it's gonna win anything.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll discuss it. Arr. Let us know in the
we
comment section
won't.
below if you think we should do. I mean, who's gonna like? Please don't do that.
Yeah.
No. Well, I got to get back to cleaning up. How about you?
Me too.
Cleaning up
So,
those Oswalds.
That's right.
Wait. How many Oswalds did you pick up in this?
I got 10 this week.
10 more.
10. So we're at 272, I believe.
272.
272.
I think you're gonna reach 300.
I don't know, we'll
it
see.
might happen.
Maybe.
It might happen.
Maybe.
If there was a couple more conventions, man.
I'm too cheap to pay 10, 12 bucks a piece. So.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
steep, man. That is for sure.
All right. Well, we are losing our space with
We're
branches
losing our
here. So.
Space. Okay,
So I guess we better call it.
We were in the hall, and they said space a lot, and I kept going space, because Tanya was next to me, and she's like, "Shut up."
Pretty much.
Anyway, but look at all of this space. Okay. Oh, should I yell it? No, I won't do that. This is going to be like really bad in this microphone.
It would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're good.
All right.
We're done. It was fun. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. We'll go back to our regularly scheduled program, back into our boring houses.
Well, we're going to try it. Next week will be more normal. We have a guest next week. Yeah, we do. Trust me.
Okay, we have a guest
We have a guest next week. The following week, if you want to see Disconjointed, that might be your week.
Oh, man, this is going to be interesting.
And then in 3 weeks, we'll be back. Because I'm going to
Yeah.
be traveling, so that's why we tried to get ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Good luck to you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
everything on that. And Jason's been doing an awesome job, like coordinating all of these videos. So
So if it's bad,
a
he's
thumbs
saying
up
it's my
for
fault.
Jason. No, this is like I don't envy you, man. That's a lot of editing. Like my stuff, it's challenging, but you got to get this done by in a couple days. So I got to get you a sponsor. I got to get a sponsor.
Well, I was going to say, if there's nothing after this, we'd like to thank, it's his fault. So.
There's no sponsor.
Yeah.
How
So
about-
anyways.
can it be sponsored by all the awesome Lego fans that watch us? I mean, come on, this has been great.
Okay. So anyways, from
Irregardless.
Brick Slopes 2024, thank you. And next year we'll have more. Oh, did you know today's the 2-year anniversary of my channel? Yeah, anyways, there
Happy
you go.
anniversary
All
to
right.
Jason's Bricks
Not
in
when you
2.
watch this, it'll be after.
Wait,
so.
in the 5-year anniversary is gonna be awesome. It's Jason's Bricks in 5 years.
Maybe, okay.
Oh, sorry.
We gotta end it. You're out of,
I'm so
you're out of
it.
stuff.
I'm out of stuff.
You're out of energy.
Are you telling me to shut up? Is
Yeah.
that what's going on?
Okay.
As always, we would like to thank
today's sponsor.
This special edition episode of Bricking News is brought to you by the King of Swag, none other than Cody Otley. So we salute you, King of Swag, for making the Brick Slopes LEGO Convention a fun-filled and action-packed LEGO convention for AFOLs and TFOLs alike. It's good to be king. Until next year, keep on bricking.